If you drove your car today without knowing what I am about to tell you, you could already be breaking the law. Not because you are a bad driver. Not because you were careless. But because the UK quietly changed the rules and most people have absolutely no idea. Some of these changes came in this month. Some have already started. And a few of them carry fines, penalty points, and even the risk of losing your license completely. So if you drive on UK roads, stop what you are doing because this video could save you hundreds of pounds, your license, and possibly your life. Let's get into it. The first and arguably the most shocking change that has already taken effect is the drink-drive limit in England and Wales. For decades, the legal limit in England and Wales sat at 35 micrograms of alcohol per 100 millilitres of breath. That was the number drivers had memorized for years. That number is now gone. From April 2026, England and Wales have slashed the drink-drive limit down to 22 micrograms of alcohol per 100 millilitres of breath, bringing it in line with Scotland's limit that was introduced back in 2014. What does that actually mean for you in real terms? It means that one single drink could be enough to push some drivers over the legal limit. Not 2 pints. Not a wine and a half. One drink. If you were the type of person who thought a quick pint before driving home was perfectly fine, that is now a completely different calculation, and one the law will absolutely not be sympathetic about. It gets more serious. Police now have roadside evidential breathalyzers for instant prosecutions on the spot. No waiting around, no taking you back to the station first. They test you, they get the reading, and that reading can be used directly against you in court. And if you are convicted, you will now face a mandatory alcoholic ignition interlock fitted to your vehicle for 2 years after your ban ends. These devices require you to blow into them and prove your breath is clean before your engine will even start. So this is not just a fine and a slap on the wrist anymore. This is your car literally refusing to move until you prove you are sober. First convictions carry bans of 12 to 18 months along with 3 to 11 penalty points. Rehabilitation courses are available that can cut that ban in half, but they come at a cost of around £250. And if you are caught at the very high end, with readings above 87 micrograms, you are looking at a 3-year interlock requirement monitored through black box telemetry. The system is watching you, and it will keep watching you. Now let's talk about seatbelts, because this one is catching people completely off guard. Most drivers know that not wearing a seatbelt carries a fine. What most people do not know is that the government is now moving to add penalty points on top of that fine. Currently, if you are caught without a seatbelt, you receive a fixed penalty notice. Under the new proposals being enforced as part of the 2026 road safety strategy, not wearing a seatbelt could land you 3 points on your license alongside the financial penalty. 3 points. For something that takes 2 seconds to click in. And this applies to passengers too. If you are the driver and a child in your vehicle is not wearing a seatbelt correctly, you as the driver can be held legally responsible. That is not new information, but the enforcement is getting sharper and the consequences are getting heavier. Do not let a 2-second habit cost you your license. The next change affects every single driver over the age of 70 in this country, and there are over 6 million of them currently holding licenses. From April 2026, drivers aged 70 and above must now submit mandatory eyesight declarations every 3 years at post offices or DVLA hubs. This replaces the old self-certification system where drivers simply confirmed on a form that their eyesight was fine. Safety groups had been calling for this change for years, arguing that age-related vision problems were contributing to serious accidents on UK roads. The test itself verifies that you can read a number plate clearly from 20 meters away in daylight. If you fail, your license faces immediate provisional revocation, meaning you cannot drive until you have seen an optician and either passed a retest or received a referral. Drivers over the age of 80 face even stricter biennial checks, meaning every 2 years rather than every 3. 15% of vision-related incidents on UK roads involve senior drivers, and this law is a direct response to that figure. If you are in this age group or you have a parent or grandparent who drives, make sure they are aware of this because getting caught without complying is not just a fine, it is losing the right to drive entirely. Now here is one that is going to catch out a lot of learner drivers and their families. The rules around booking driving tests have completely changed. From the end of March 2026 onwards, only the learner driver themselves is allowed to book, change, or cancel their driving test. Driving instructors can no longer do it on your behalf. Third parties cannot do it for you. It must be done through your own personal government account. On top of that, you are now limited to just 2 changes per booking slot. Previously, there were no real limits on how many times a test could be rescheduled, which led to agencies and bots hoarding appointment slots and creating backlogs of up to 800,000 nationwide. Waiting times in some areas stretched to 20 weeks or more. These new restrictions are designed to bring that down to under 10 weeks by summer. If you need to cancel, you must now give at least 10 working days notice. Miss that window and you lose your slot. There are also new restrictions coming in June that limit cancellations and swaps to the 3 nearest test centers to you, so you cannot opportunistically grab a slot on the other side of the country. If you are learning to drive right now, understand these rules before you book anything. Let's talk about cameras, because ANPR technology is being rolled out more aggressively than ever before across UK roads. Automatic number plate recognition cameras are now being used to automatically flag untaxed vehicles, vehicles without a valid MOT, and uninsured cars. You do not get a warning. You do not get a letter first. The system identifies you, flags your vehicle, and enforcement follows. If your MOT has lapsed, if you forgot to renew your road tax, or if your insurance details are not correctly registered, you are exposed. Make sure everything on your vehicle is fully up to date because the cameras are no longer just watching. They are acting. Electric vehicle drivers, your world is changing too. If you bought a brand new electric car from April 2025 onwards, your vehicle is no longer completely tax-free. From 2026, you are now required to pay the standard vehicle excise duty rate of £195 per year. That free ride on road tax is over. Additionally, from April 2026, the luxury car supplement threshold has increased from £40,000 to £50,000 specifically for electric and zero-emission vehicles. That is actually good news for EV buyers at the higher end, because fewer electric cars will now fall into that expensive car tax bracket. But do not confuse that benefit with the broader picture, which is that driving an electric vehicle in the UK is becoming more expensive year on year as the government phases out the incentives that launched the EV market in the first place. If you drive into London, the congestion charge has also gone up. It rose from £15 to £18 per day from January 2026, and if you pay late, within 3 days of travel rather than on the day, that rises to £21. The old cleaner vehicle discount that gave electric cars completely free access to the zone ended on Christmas Day 2025. Electric cars now get a 25% discount if registered for autopay, meaning you pay £13.50 per day. Without autopay, you pay the full rate. If you commute into central London in an electric vehicle and you have not registered for autopay, sort that out immediately because the difference in cost over a working month is significant. There is also a major change coming to the driving theory test that will affect everyone currently learning. The government has updated the first aid section of the theory test from early 2026 to include improved questions on cardiopulmonary resuscitation, what most people know as CPR, and brand new questions about how to use an automated external defibrillator. An AED is the life-saving device you see mounted on walls in shopping centers, train stations, and public buildings. The reason for this change is stark. The overall cardiac arrest survival rate outside of hospitals in the UK is as low as 1 in 10. But survival rates improve dramatically when a bystander performs CPR and uses an AED correctly before an ambulance arrives. Drivers are often first on scene at road accidents and medical emergencies. Making sure the next generation of drivers knows how to respond to a cardiac emergency is not a small change. It could genuinely save lives. Now looking slightly ahead to November 2026, because this one is coming and you need to know about it now. All new cars and vans manufactured from November 29, 2026 must meet Euro 7 emission standards. These are the strictest vehicle emissions rules ever introduced in the UK and Europe. They target not just exhaust fumes but also non-exhaust pollutants like brake dust and tire particles. If you are planning to buy a new vehicle in the second half of this year, this is relevant to you. Cars that do not meet Euro 7 simply will not be approved for sale as new vehicles in the UK. The manufacturing and buying landscape is about to shift significantly. And finally, the most futuristic change on this list: driverless vehicles. Self-driving car trials are commencing on select UK motorways from April 2026. These vehicles operate under the 2024 Automated Vehicles Act, which requires them to meet strict safety standards comparable to a competent human driver before being allowed on public roads. Human oversight is still required during these early trials, but the Act has already begun to shift the question of legal liability. Historically, if there was an accident, the driver was responsible. With automated vehicles, that question becomes much more complicated, and the law is now formally beginning to address it. This is not science fiction anymore. It is happening on roads near you. So let's bring all of this together. The drink-drive limit has been cut dramatically, and one drink may now be enough to make you illegal. Seatbelt offences are getting penalty points added. Over 70s must now submit to mandatory eyesight testing or lose their license. Learner drivers face strict new booking limits and can no longer use instructors to manage their tests. ANPR cameras are actively scanning for untaxed, uninsured, and UNMOT'd vehicles. Electric vehicles are no longer tax-free. London's congestion charge has gone up and the free EV exemption is gone. Theory tests now include CPR and defibrillator questions. Euro 7 emission standards hit all new cars by November. And self-driving vehicles are beginning to appear on our motorways. This is not a small set of tweaks. This is one of the biggest overhauls UK road law has seen in a generation. The government's goal is a 65% reduction in road deaths and serious injuries by 2035, and they are clearly not waiting around to achieve it. Over 1,700 people died on UK roads in 2025. These laws exist because real people lost their lives, and the system is finally getting serious about changing that. The best thing you can do right now is share this video with every driver you know, because I guarantee most of them have no idea these changes are happening. Check your MOT. Check your road tax. Check your insurance. If you are over 70, check your eyesight requirements. If you are learning, check the new booking rules before you touch anything. And if you are a regular driver in England or Wales, remember that one drink might now be one too many. Stay safe out there, stay informed, and most importantly, stay legal. If this video helped you, please give it a like, leave a comment telling me which of these changes surprised you the most, and most importantly, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss another update like this one. I cover everything you need to know about UK driving laws, road rules, and motoring news in plain English, no jargon, no confusion. The roads are changing fast, and I am here to make sure you are always one step ahead. Subscribe to my channel and let's keep you driving safely and legally for years to come.